Hey, what up, everyone? This is my GCW, JCW Jersey J Cup 2026 Night 2 review. I reviewed Night 1 the other day, and what I gotta say is, Night 1, while it was not a must-see show, Night 1 was at least somewhat saved by the last hour of at least having a incredible cage match with Manders and Mad Dog Conley, which I highly recommend everyone to go out their way to see. That was a hell of a brawl, hell of a bloody match, great match that was on Night 1. And then you had Jordan Oliver and Alec Price in a time limit draw, and they really tore the house down, had a crazy match with each other that was really good. And then you even had stuff like the Dynamite Kid and Black Tiger that was pretty solid, and you had Adam Priest and Jonathan Gresham, which was good. Now, unfortunately, Night 2 was the complete opposite. Every single J-Cup match was either very subpar, or the ones that started clicking just never got in gear. And this show, as you see in the title, I have question mark at the end of the question mark. Was this the worst show of the year so far? And I gotta say, I'm a huge GCW fan. JCW, their sister promotion JCW, I think has been killing it in last year. But this is by far their worst show they have put on, and a lot of it is due to the booking of it. Now, I do understand that over the last year, and even not even last year, but longer than even a year, you've had this whole backstory of Billy Starks and Charles Mason's feud. So I understand booking logic and everything. It's not like it doesn't make sense pairing them and having them go to the finals, because it does make sense booking-wise. But if you want to actually create something that's going to get your company a buzz, and basically it's like, because I feel like independent wrestling, especially nowadays, the only way that you're going to have a company create a lot of buzz is if you're going to put on crazy, insane shows like DPW has done, or just like a couple matches here and there that are like so must-see that you need to go out and see this company. Unfortunately, like storytelling on the independent scene, it's not something is going to draw fans in, especially someone like Billy Starks. Billy Starks, all respect to her. I mean, she definitely has a love for professional wrestling, but she is a shitty wrestler, and I'm sorry, she's been wrestling for several years, and she's been wrestling since like 14 or 15, and she's, instead of improving, she's gotten a whole lot worse. I don't know if that's because she hasn't gotten as many reps in since being in AEW, but she just has not done anything good in the last couple of years, and she just keeps getting worse instead of better. And let me get into the review. The first matchup of Jersey J Cup was a quarterfinal matchup with Billy Starks versus the man like Darius. This was not a match that was good, not something that would get the crowd into the show. I mean, Darius placed the crowd great. He tried his best in this match, but it was about 2 stars at best. Billy Starks advances on to the next round. Then you had KJ Orso versus Vendador. And this wasn't an awful match for KJ Orso. He actually didn't do too bad in here, but this was one of those matches that it never really got in gear. Like, it seemed like at certain points it was going to pick up and actually turn into a pretty solid match, but it just was, middle of the road, nothing that you need to see. About a 2-star match as well. KJ Orso advances. Then the next matchup was probably one of the things that was the most disappointing things of Night 2, because I was actually expecting this to be a match that is going to take place on Night 2, and I was expecting it to be a whole lot better. And this was the quarterfinal matchup with Jonathan Gresham and Darian Bankston. Darian Bankston is one of the guys on the independent scene that I am definitely fond of. I think he has very good potential to possibly be a top star in the independent scene, and maybe even springboard into WWE NXT or obviously AEW. Now, this match, they did really good technical mat wrestling. Started off good, just ended flat and went a little too long. That was the problem with this. And then not only was some of the technical wrestling pretty solid at the beginning, the thing that really made this match run off the rails was, I don't know why Jonathan Gresham decided to turn this into a comedy match. Jonathan Gresham is not a comedy guy. I know he had a stroke recently, and obviously he's still probably trying to get back into getting used to being in the ring and having multiple matches within, 2 nights. And I understand that, and I would definitely wish the best for him, but Jonathan Gresham doing comedy spots is fucking awful. I love that in Tokyo Joshi Pro and in other companies, but not here with this matchup, especially since I was expecting just a crazy back and forth match with these two, and it just never really clicked. I don't know if that was the reason why it ran off the rails and the way it did. Gresham advances and goes on to the next round. Then you had the thing of the night that is actually something that is a must-see match. This is the match of the only thing on this show. You go on Triller right now, click on Night 2, fast forward to this match, and this was the GCW Tag Title match of Busta in the Brain versus Sinner and Saint. Sinner and Saint being Judas Icarus and Travis Williams, and Alec Price and Jordan Oliver, obviously Busta in the Brain. This was a fantastic tag team match. If you love the old style of PWG wrestling and Ring of Honor from in the past, and you just love killer back and forth, insane tag matches with tons of back and forth action, tons of reversals, tons of kickouts. Just this match clicked, and these two teams did very well with each other, and I'm really wanting to see this match yet again. And I'm going to be a little selfish saying I'm hoping this match maybe could take place in the middle of March, since I'll be going to the GCW shows in Atlantic City in March. I would love to see this be a tag team title defense in March. Maybe even change it and put it into a triple threat or a four-way tag match. You could always, add other teams in with it as well. Just please do not have any JCW, as in Juggalo Championship Wrestling teams, having to take on killer teams like Busta in the Brain and Sinner and Saint. Sinner and Saint and Busta in the Brain, crazy match, must-see tag match. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was the must-see thing on the show, the only thing you need to see, so definitely go out there where you can see that. Next matchup was a match on paper. Should have probably been a little better than what it was, and this was Gabe Kidd and Mad Dog Conley versus Dynamite Kid and Joey Janela. Now, this was a match that I would probably say for the live crowd, they probably liked it a whole lot more than what it came off on TV. But as far as what I viewed, it never really got me too interested in it. I mean, Conley and Gabe got their shit in. Dynamite Kid looked fairly good. Janela just did Janela, and the match kind of probably went a few minutes longer than what it should. Janela and Dynamite Kid win. It was not a bad match, but nothing you need to go out your way to see. Probably about 2.5, 2 3/4 stars. Then the next matchup was the first of the semifinals matchup. This was Billy Starks and KJ Orso. KJ Orso, very dull and boring. Billy Starks, terrible in the ring. So this already says enough what this match was. Very bad match. 1.5 stars at best. Then the next semifinal matchup was Charles Mason and Jonathan Gresham. This actually wasn't too bad of a match. This was a match that went way too long. It was pushing about 20 minutes. I felt they probably could have trimmed it about 3 to 5 minutes, and it probably would have turned out a little bit better. But it actually wasn't too bad. It was for the J-Cup matches. This is probably one of the better J-Cup matches of Night 2. Not a must-see match, but a fairly decent one. And I gave it at least 3 stars. It wasn't bad, but compared to some of the other trash that you saw on this show, this actually stepped it up a bit. Then the next matchup was the JCW title #1 contendership Jersey Lotto match. This was a match that had Teriyaki, Adam Priest, Ava Everett, Eric Stevens, Griffin McCoy, Jimmy Lloyd, Joe Lando, LeBron Cozone, LSG, Manny Lowe, Matt Mako, Matt Tremont, Nick Camarado, Nikki XS, Oro, Ryan Clancy, and Ryan O'Neal. Now, this was a match, just like the Joe Janela match. I felt that it was probably a match that came off better for the live crowd, but it was a match that for about 30 minutes, especially on this, it wasn't anything must-see. I mean, they at least did the smart thing, had Teriyaki win this. He gets #1 contendership match, so we will see Teriyaki go for the not GCW, but the JCW title in March in Atlantic City against the winner of the JCW Cup Finals, and that was Charles Mason and Billy Starks in the finals. Thankfully, the only thing they did smart in this whole thing was made it short as possible. Charles Mason won it in about a little over 5 minutes. Wasn't a match that anyone needed to see. 2 stars at best. And as you see with my ratings of this show and my thoughts overall, this is not a show I recommend to see. I give it probably about a 5 out of 10, and that might be even being a little generous. But the only reason why I give it 5 out of 10, I felt that, hey, I can't give this show like a 3 or 4 when you have a match of the year candidate tag team match like you did with Buster in the Brain versus Center and the Saint. If you didn't have that matchup, oh boy, this would have been in territories of easily not just the worst show of the year so far, but one of the worst shows of all time if you did not have that match. So that is my review of the Jersey J Cup 2026 Night 2. Y'all have a great day. Peace.